Hey everyone, this is a guitar tutorial for Firm Foundation by Cody Carnes. Before we begin, please consider subscribing to my channel or give this video a like and comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. Additionally, if you're interested in any of the gear that you see today, there are links in the description below. And last but not least, if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do just that by clicking the three dots that are next to the like button. And there should be a menu that comes up with thanks, and I appreciate anything that you can give. All right, well, grab your acoustic guitar and you're gonna need a capo today, and let's get started. All right, like I said, you're gonna need a capo and it's gonna be on the 3rd fret, so we can play in the original key, which is B flat. And here are the chords you need to know: G, C, D, E minor, A minor 7, D over F sharp, G over B, and C over E. Now, you might have noticed there's a lot of variations of the same chord, but they're all important because if you don't have a bass player, well, they're even more important than if you just played in a traditional band. So just keep that in mind. You're going to need all of these to make the song work, especially when we do some step down motions with the chords. So here is how I'm playing each chord. This is how I play G. Put your ring finger down on the low E 3rd fret, pinky on the 3rd fret also, but the high E string, and the middle finger is going to go on the A string 2nd fret. And this is all relative to the capo, so really you're on the 6th fret of your guitar here for the pinky and ring finger, and of course the 5th fret for the middle finger. That's the G chord. Now to play G suspended, which is pretty much the 2nd chord of the song, just drop your index finger down on the B string 1st fret, and you have this sound. And really the first chord motion that you have in the intro is and then the verse begins. And really to play that, it's pretty easy, just a 6/8 strumming pattern, but you're gonna lift off that middle finger for a brief second, put it back down, and then you have a G suspended chord. I'll break that down later after we play through the song, but first we got to get through the rest of the chords. So C is just a traditional C chord shape: ring finger on the A string 3rd fret, middle finger D string 2nd fret, index finger B string 1st fret, and I'm not strumming the low E for that, but that's the traditional C chord shape. To add the low E, you have a C over E chord, and you don't have to move your fingers at all. So that's nice. You get 2 chords for the price of 1. All right, for the D chord, you put your index finger down on the G string 2nd fret, middle finger down on the high E 2nd fret as well, ring finger B string 3rd fret, but I can't strum the low E or A strings for the D chord. But to play D over F sharp, I can use that index finger on the low E 2nd fret, middle finger G string 2nd fret as well, ring finger B string 3rd fret, and this time I'm going to use that low string, but I can't strum the high E. That's D over F sharp. For the A minor 7 chord, put your index finger down on the B string 1st fret, middle finger down on the D string 2nd fret, and I'm not going to strum the low E, but everything else is fine. That's A minor 7. For G over B, pretty simple. Put your pinky down on the high E 3rd fret, index finger down on the A string 2nd fret, and I can't strum the low E, but if you'd like to, you could put your middle finger down. You're just going to have to emphasize that A string a little bit more, so that's why I avoid strumming that low E as much as I can. And that's that sound I'm looking for from the A string. So that's G over B. All right, so that about does it for chords. If I missed anything, I'll cover them back after we play through the song. Don't worry, I'm going to put the chords on screen for you. I'll say them as we go along. We'll go over some strumming patterns, and again, we'll cover that intro again after we play through it. All right, stick around. Here we go. G. G suspended.
Christ is my
G. E minor, D, G suspended, G, E minor, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, G, G suspended, G,
E minor, D, step down, E minor, D, C over E, G over B, E minor, D over F sharp, G, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, break, G, G suspended, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, G, G over B, C, G, G suspended, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, G, G over B, C, G, E minor, D, G, E minor, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, G, G suspended, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, G, G over B, C. Hold that C for a little bit. D, G over B, E minor, D, C, 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 D, G over B, E minor, D, G, A minor, E minor, D, C, G over B, A minor, G, A minor, E minor, D, C, G over B, E minor, D over F sharp, G, D, C, G over B, E minor, D, G, G suspended, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, G, G over B, C, G, G suspended, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, G, G over B, C,
No, he won't.
G.
Well, everyone, I hope that I was able to help you out with that tutorial. Let's talk about the intro, and I'll do that again for you without any music in the background. So I'm going to play that again for you slowly now. So the main thing is getting that strumming pattern down first and then getting the chord shape down. So I'm doing a 6/8 strumming pattern. Or down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down. And then as you're doing that, of course, you're playing a G chord. I'm going to let go of that middle finger. Put it back on. And then put my G suspended shape back. Right there, my index finger first fret. And there you have it. That's the intro. And then, of course, the verse begins. Now, the first verse is pretty simple, but once you get further into the song, it gets a little wacky, at least with some of the chord changes, because they happen so fast and they happen on every beat. For example, in the second verse, you have C, G over B, A minor, G, really quickly. I call that the step down. And then in E minor. Do that again. I'm only really strumming down just to make those chords work for me for each beat. So C, G over B, A minor, G, and then E minor, D. Now, you might have noticed my pinky is actually on the high E third fret sometimes when I'm playing the E chord. That's just to give me a chimier sound. And yes, I do need glasses to see my chord chart. I'm sorry. It is what it is, people. I'm old. And really, for the next progression right after that, there's a little brief one that happens quickly, and that's D over F sharp. This is how that goes. We have C over E, G over B, E minor, D over F sharp, G, D. So that's another one that also happens quickly. So just watch that. You can slow it down with the gear icon, or you could just isolate that and practice it on your own. So you could have C over E, G over B, E minor, D over F sharp, G, D. Something to think about. And again, I would advise you to practice that section just by itself before you start playing the entire song. To simplify that, what you could do is just hold a C, G, E minor, D, instead of playing all those bass progressions, really those chords with like, C over E or G over B. But I, again, implore you, try to do those, because if you don't have a bass player in your band, it really helps move the song along. And I like this because obviously it really is a cool acoustic guitar song. Well, if you need any more help, ladies and gentlemen, just ask me. That strumming pattern I showed you is actually the same pattern that is used mostly through the song. When the bridge comes around in certain parts, at least when he comes back to the first verse after the first chorus, you're just down strumming. That's all you're doing. That's really the only other thing I can think of. But if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And if you'd like to see some more stuff, leave a comment below as well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. And of course, if you were really blessed by this video, you can donate to my channel by clicking the 3 dots next to the like button. And there should be a menu that comes up that says thanks. And I appreciate anything that you can give. Well, have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.